Oh, oops. I started recording. Mail is here. Now is not a great time, sir. Sir Mailman. Okay. Hi, guys. My name is Taz. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're not, also welcome. I appreciate you watching my video. This one will be not as well, actually, I shouldn't say it's not going to be informative. It is, because I'm going to talk about the shop, the new changes that we're making. I'm also going to talk about when you receive something that you've purchased from us, kind of how to prep it in your care and get it ready to thrive, right? So acclimation, if you will. Well, it's basically acclimation. From our environment to yours, kind of what to expect and just kind of how to combat any issues you might run into, if you will. So usually when we run our sales, oh, and also to start this off, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We're trying to grow a little bit. Before, I was like, I never wanted to push that because I don't know, people hate it sometimes. But if you're watching and you watch me often and you do enjoy our content, hit the subscribe button. It does help us. Even liking the video, it helps reach others and it helps us in the algorithm in YouTube. So it would be really helpful and I really appreciate it. So yeah, get that out. Thank you. But so our shop typically used to sell, well, we still might, we don't know. This is going to be a test period, but we usually sell our corms on Instagram and we'll run them through our story. A lot of you already know that, but we'll run them through our stories and then people will just comment underneath the corm or plant, claim that they want them. And then I will typically go and I will write everybody's order down in a book and then I will timestamp every single claim. And then I cross-check everybody's and figure out who want it, right? It's very time-consuming, and it's a bit overwhelming when you have hundreds of people that message you about their orders or corms, even 30 people at a time messaging you, claiming things, and then you're cross-checking. It takes like 6 hours to like really figure it all out. And I was like, you know what? I feel like we need to do this differently. So we're going to start with a website. I actually created this website like 6 months ago as I'm over Etsy. Etsy's driving me crazy. I want something different. And I like rage made a website. I know one does not usually rage make a website, but I did because I'm special, aren't I? But anyway, so I rage made this website. And the other day I was like, Mom, mother of mine, why don't we run our sales through our website? Just have a launch date and time and schedule them and just have them drop. And then whoever gets there on time will announce it, of course. We'll have countdowns and really make it clear when it's going to be so that you don't miss out. But that's kind of what we're going to try. And we're going to try this first time is going to be March 1st. So if you're watching this in the distant future, maybe we didn't do that again. Or maybe we went back to Instagram and only did our sales through there. I don't know. Future me will know. I don't know right now. So, but anyways, without further ado to that, on the website, like I said, it will be scheduled and then there will be a specific time and then obviously they'll all get released and then you'll be able to add them to your cart and check out. So you do need to go and not subscribe, but you do need to create an account. That'll help you get the emails you need for notifications. I haven't set up a lot of the stuff yet because I'm learning how to, like newsletters or information stuff on when sales are going to be for people that don't really use social media as their primary source of information. So I will figure out newsletter and stuff like that. I'm just, like I said, I'm learning it. The only difference as far as payment will be, well, payment in general will be a lot more streamlined. It'll be easier for you guys. You won't have to worry about paying us through, the third party and then, writing your memos and all of that. You'll have so many more options now. You can do your payment plans. You can do your credit cards. You can do Venmo, or not Venmo, PayPal, direct bank. So you can literally do whatever you want as far as payment, what works for you and your family, which I feel like, oh my God, a ball just literally rolled, a massive ball just rolled right in front of the window, and I about pooped my pants. I thought there was a ghost. Anyways, I'm sure I looked shocked. I can't wait to see how shooketh I looked. I don't know why that scared me so much, but whatever. What was I saying now? Because now I've interrupted myself and I'm very scared. Anyways, payments. It should be a lot easier for you to pay and then track your orders. And then you have your inventory list on your receipt that gets emailed to you. You'll see exactly what you've purchased. So you don't ever have to ask, well, I forgot what I got, because we might not ship it out that next week because weather can be dependent on when shipping dates are selected. We might run, like our first sales, we're going to run it March 1st. I'm not shipping that first Tuesday. I'm very busy that week. And there's going to be storms. I'm going to be shipping the following week. So people, no matter what, are going to have to wait a full week to get their package shipped, and that's just how it is. So you have to be comfortable with us picking our shipping dates, and of course, you have to also be comfortable knowing how to grow corms. If it's a small corm, please understand that you, by purchasing it, are assuming the risk of dealing and growing small corms. Now, we don't, like we've said a million times, we don't pluck off small corms on purpose. These are ones that have been knocked off or have no longer continued growing. Sometimes they get stunted, they don't continue to grow, so we take them, right? And then we sell them at a much lower price. I'm trying not to move my hands so much. So animated all the time. So what was I saying? I just can't, can I? I'm just never stay on track. Never. Oh, corms. So just know that, when you're purchasing a corm, that you do know how to grow them and you are comfortable with that, because we're not refunding or replacing anybody's packages that arrive if they get lost. If a corm dies in their care, now, I'm not saying if it's dead on arrival, that's very different. Obviously, if there's a significant damage to your package after it arrives, within 6 hours, we'd like you to let us know and show us a video or a picture, send it to Instagram, let us know. And we will talk to you privately about solutions or how we feel or what we think, right? Maybe we help you claim it if it was a shipping incident or whatnot, right? If you don't purchase a heat pack, let's say, and it's winter, well, that will definitely, even if it arrives damaged, that's on you. You got to spend that $5, get that heat pack, secure it, because we also do insulation with it. So it just protects you and it protects your packages. Yes, those things are add-ons. Please remember that every piece to our package costs us money, right? We have to account for all of that. And so that's why our prices are set the way they are. Now, shipping these last packages that have gone out, we charge $15 for shipping, which in a lot of communities that aren't plant related, that's way too much, right? However, in the plant community, it's not very much at all. I should have charged $20. Every package that went out was $23. And that's crazy, right? But I was like, I'm gonna be nice. And then we're adding in insulation and this and that and this and that. And it's a lot. So we always have to account for those things. We can't just, put a heat pack in there because, we want to for free. We do appreciate you guys purchasing them. That helps us. And then the way we ship our corms now, we were shipping them like this in these, but these are too big and they're taking up too much space when you have 10 corms. So we have, and USPS throws the packages around. I can tell when they arrive because all this stratum is in here. I might try and fill with fuzz and then tape it down to avoid this being everywhere, the stratum in here, but I haven't tried that yet because it looks so bad, and it's not our fault. We obviously pack it carefully, and we make sure that it's going to arrive safe, but we can't control what the carriers do once they receive it. That's out of our control. So for smaller corms, we've been putting them in these little containers. They're just little clear containers. Easy peasy. If you like to grow in water, you can clean these out. Put a little bit of water, lay your corm in there, and you can grow it directly in this. You could even do it if you remove some of the stratum, make a small layer here, keep it moist, not wet, and keep it covered and air it out once a day. I'm very big on cycling through that oxygen each day. You can grow it, just put it in your cabinet, and it will stay pretty moist in here. The corm is the only thing that's going to drink the water, because when it dissipates, it's just going to sit to the top here, and it's going to drip back down, and it's going to continue a cycle until the corm has absorbed all of it. That's my theory. I don't actually know that, but that's what common sense is telling me what happens. So if it's wrong, my bad. But that's just kind of what my head is telling me is going to happen, or what does happen, because we kept one in here and it was in here for a week and a half and it didn't lose moisture. And the corm was fine. So if your package gets lost and it is in one of those, it's going to be fine. We know that for a fact. Only problem is if it is in a dark space in the package for, a week and a half to 2 weeks, it could start rotting because it's not getting oxygen. It's in a dark space. It's not going to be in an environment that it is for its best interest in order to grow strong, right? Our other container for the bigger ones are these. They're just a bigger version. They're a nicer version for growing in water because the top is clear, more clear than this cloudier I want to say not fabric, plastic, whatever you want to call it. But so this is our bigger version. And again, we just set the corm in here. We put a little fuzz and we close it up. And you can leave it, like I said, leave your corm in here and it will grow, hopefully. You have to remember to air it out, and you need to make sure you're watching if it's going to dry out, because if you dry out your corm, it's really hard to come back from that a lot of the times. It's not the worst, but it's not the best either, because that skin on the outside gets really hard, and then it's just a struggle to get that off. And my mom said in the other video, I want to post this before the sale, so I might post this out right away and then schedule hers after it. But she does mention in there that she likes to soak hers in water and then try and peel them. So that's an option for you as well to try. You can see the size, and they've been traveling fine in these. I know this looks very small, very scary. It's fine. And it saves a lot of space, which is really beneficial for us, right? Okay, so when you get those, like I said, you can grow it in that, whatever you want to do. What I would suggest though is, and I just had this conversation with a package that went to Hawaii, lovely couple, both of them purchased something from our shop and it arrived safe and sound. My only thing was the freaking UPS must have thrown their box around, because all the little baby plants were disheveled where they're like the corm base, because all our plants are corm grown. The corms were on the top of the fluval, still situated, but like on top of the fluval, and most of the stratum was in the bottom, which drives me crazy because hello, this is how they leave, they leave clean and tidy. I mean, this has algae, but when you're growing in water constantly like this, algae is bound to grow. That's just how it is. But so what you can do is, once they arrive, open them up. You don't need to give them water. They should not be dry. They should not be dry. Obviously, if they're dry, then give them water. They shouldn't be dry. Don't give them extra water. Put them somewhere warm, somewhere where there's good light, and maybe some airflow, not too much, because that'll dry out really quickly. Please note that it will dry out very quickly because it's a small amount of substrate in there, right? So just be wary of that and be careful of that. I'll try not to move my hands. So just put it somewhere comfortable for an hour or so. Let it air out. let it just kind of get some air, and then you can close it back up, or you can put it in your own growing environment or setup that you like to grow corms in. You could even wait a night. You don't have to with corms. Corms are obviously pretty hardy little things. It doesn't matter if you move it around, unless it has roots. That's the only thing that could, and the worst that comes with a corm that's unsprouted that has roots is the roots die and then it regrows roots. But it should always regrow roots. So don't worry about that. I say personally. But if you're getting a baby plant, if it's been disheveled, we do send our little baby plants in these. Sometimes, depending on the plant, it's not, but for the most part, it's going to be in a little self-watering planter. If you just take it out, if it's disheveled and not looking pretty, rinse the space out, take the substrate out, put new substrate, or rinse the substrate through a colander and put it back in here. Replant your plant in here. Don't pour water through it. Don't pour water through it. Just give it, after you put it in here, give it an hour to sit in your cabinet. If it's moist, let it stay moist. And then, you know, at the end of the day or in a couple hours, go put fresh water, not tap water, fresh water in here. And it should be fine. It should be fine. In a good environment, it should be fine. If you're in a really cold environment or an over-the-top humid environment or hot environment, it's not going to do great. You want to have a very good VPD balanced environment for a baby alocasia to be successful. I have to keep my cabinets open most of the time to avoid my humidity for my baby alocasia going above 75%. They don't like it. They get edema way faster. They can't evaporate moisture very well when it's too humid in there. So they sit in extra water, and that will kill your plant. That will lead to rot. Cat is bugging me. So for baby plants, yep, that's what I would suggest. If you don't have a cabinet, get one. I'm just kidding. You don't need one. Your plant will be fine. A lot of these plants will acclimate to normal environments. It is going to be more of a challenge. So if you're acclimating your plant, I would try and put it in a, so cover it. Maybe if you put it on the floor in a sunny spot, maybe put like a clear tub over it with the howls on the side so it gets oxygen. But just to, I'm like looking around like I'm gonna find a magical tub to show you what I mean. Anything to kind of create some humidity in there for it to acclimate, because the acclimation of it is important, or it's going from a cold, dark box to all of a sudden to your home. So you want to give it a good start to your growing environment by forcing a good environment right from the start, and then you can slowly acclimate it out. But I would try your best to put it in a good, warm, sunnier, not sun, but like sunnier, and go from there. That would be my suggestion. I need to change my battery. It's gonna probably die any second, but for the most part, I think that was pretty much it anyways. Okay, I think we're good now. My batteries were exhausted because I filmed my mom yesterday in her video, so I haven't put them on the charger. I should have got home and put them right on the charger, but I have 3 because I know I'm terrible. Come on. Come on. She wants to jump on my back. She's so weird. But yeah, hopefully that was helpful. I'm trying to think. I should have written these down. I wrote everything else down. I should have wrote down, whoa. Sorry, guys. I should have written down the top questions we get, and kind of answered those, but to think off the top of my head. If your corm is disheveled as well, when you bury it back in, just make sure you're not sinking it too deep. You know, you want to leave top portion out, not just the tip where the leaf is coming out, but a little bit of the actual circle itself, the corm base, because else it's going to rot. It's not going to get enough oxygen. It's going to be too buried. It's like any plant stem. You don't want to sink it too deep. Be very careful with overwatering, of course. That's what happens to a lot of people. If you're dealing with mold, I'm trying something right now to see if it works. I got a new fungicide spray that's supposed to help. I mixed the fungicide. I didn't just spray the fungicide directly on my corms. I actually mixed it in some water first. A lot of people use hydrogen peroxide to flush it through. I like that, but at the same time, then it makes my stratum all like white and yucky looking. And I hate that so much. Kind of like the bottom of this is probably not going to focus on it, but maybe a little bit you can see. I don't think that's very pretty. And I'm a visual person, so my plants have to look beautiful or they can go elsewhere. Bye-bye. So I've heard somebody saying you could use water and baking soda. I've never heard of that or like tried that. Maybe I should try it and then tell you guys. I'm not sure. I'm too scared to try new things sometimes because it's like, what if I kill all of my stuff and then I just will feel stupid? Because you're supposed to test things out first, right? I'm just stalling now. I'm trying to think of what we get asked. So I answered how they arrive or how they get shipped. A lot of people have the question of, how is it going to arrive to me? Well, it's going to arrive in those 3 different ways. And then we also ship it UPS 2-day. I will say if the package is $30, let's say for 2-day, we'll do 3-day because it'll still get there on time. Even if we used ground, it'll still get there in a good amount of time. If you have a really expensive plant, we don't mess around with that. But for like general orders, it's okay. If you're paying $15, we're not going to pay like $40 to ship the plant, right? We don't ever go below 3 days, but some days it will be 3 days. Sometimes I've done that. I had to do that twice last week because it was just, one was like $60 and I was like, no, that's not right. That's not right. So whatever. I hate to make anything about money, but sometimes it's important because us small businesses, we rely on things maintaining the way they're supposed to in order for it to run smoothly for us. And that's just the way it is. Another thing to note, we're very upfront, we're very forward, and we're very, we like to keep it real. So we like to share a lot of the things problems we have with our plants as far as the damage, mold, the algae. This is not a direct representation of the quality of care that we give our plants. This is just a normal, realistic part of growing. Everybody's going to run into these issues, us included, even though we do this as our job, if you will. It's our hobby, but we do run into these situations that you might also run into, right? And that's not, like I said, a representation of our overall care. We care very much about our plants and we put all of our energy into growing our plants. If we notice something is wrong with your corm or plant before shipping, we'll let you know. I know I say this in my mom's video, so you'll be hearing it again when you watch hers. But if I nick the corm or if I notice the corm is at the bottom, it's getting squishy, or maybe the top is all squashed or something. I can't think of a good example, but if I see something, I usually let the person know. If a plant is not doing as great as it was in the beginning, I'll let them know. And then go from there. If the plant dies, I let them know, and then I let them choose a refund. Or recently I did one where I actually gave them my parent plant. They had the baby, they purchased the baby, and they paid extra to get the parent plant because they wanted the parent plant instead. And I just marked it like way down. I was like, if you want this one, you can have it. So I always try and find solutions. Sometimes there isn't one, and I'm sorry. Obviously, if mistakes are made by us, we are accountable for that, and we will stay accountable for that. But yeah, other than that, I think it's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. If you have questions, don't forget that you can, get the hair off my lip. You can always reach out to any one of us. We're happy to, especially if the sales are through the website. We will have our parent plants on there. That's the question we get all the time. The parent plants are going to be on there. So you can just go look on her section on the website, and all the parent plants, we have to label them. We know. So go to Instagram's parent plant section, look there first. And if you don't see a parent plant, let me know and I'll go and add it. Sometimes I forget because there's so many and I lose track of one, let's say, and we get new ones. So just let me know and I'll add it in there, and we'll list them and label them at some point here. That'll take forever. So we'll do that. But everything else should be pretty straightforward. And like I was saying, and I interrupted myself, because it'll be less work for me during the sales initially for like writing down the orders and tracking who's getting what and this and that. I'll have more time to actually answer questions. So if you have questions about an order or something on the website, let me know. If there's a technical issue, let me know. I really won't be able to fix technical issues, but if you notice an error or like even a spelling error or something, I haven't worked with the website that long. I spent a lot of hours on it, don't get me wrong, but I'm not sure the coding is working, this, that. It's still a work in progress, and it's basically the beta form. So keep that in mind. This is getting a little long, but hopefully it helps. Hopefully you have a better understanding of how they're going to arrive, what to do when they arrive, and when to reach out and when not to reach out. We are pretty stern on our rules. If your stuff dies, we're sorry. You know, again, don't purchase anything if you're not comfortable growing or not, you know, we're not confident in your ability to grow said corm or plant. Just, it's better not to do it. Because then of course, you know, that becomes our problem, at the end, and that's not always fair a lot of the time. And I'm trying to be delicate, but so even if you come to us and it's a week later, it's not doing good, it's declining, we're sorry. We're really sorry. But unfortunately, that's just the risk with it. Same with variegation. And this might sound harsh, but it's our choices as a small business on how we want to handle it. We've dealt with enough. Etsy was the worst for us. We hate Etsy. But we haven't had any issues running our Instagram sales. You know, maybe one or two, like me shipping a package to the completely wrong place. Yay, I'm so great. But we want to avoid future problems. So if you can just respect that, that would be amazing. It puts us in a difficult position when you kill your plant or it declines in your care. And then we get the messages of, you know, basically, well, you know, what are you going to do about me killing the plant? Well, we can't. We didn't kill the plant. We're not, you know, in your home taking care of it. It's not our fault. So if you can respect that, that would be so helpful. It's very stressful for us because we want to be so nice, but we can't. We can't always be so nice because this is our business at the end of the day. So we love you guys and we appreciate it so much. And like I said, we rarely have issues. But just in case, there's always a few every now and then that just give us a runaround, and it's very exhausting sometimes. And I don't mean to be mean, but we're in a world full of different types of people. You're gonna have assholes and you're gonna have amazing people. And for the most part, we have amazing people. 9 times out of 10, I wouldn't even say 9 times out of 10. I would say like 9.8 times out of 10. 9.9 times out of 10. Amazing. Amazing experiences with every single one of you. So appreciate it. So anyways, I keep going in circles. I'll probably forget something and be like, oops. Also, but I think we covered it all. Just knowing those few things and we'll be okay. We don't really get lost packages. It's rare that things get delayed or get lost. It does happen, and you know, that's out of our control. My husband is spamming me. So have a great day, you guys. Thank you for watching, and let me know if I missed anything that I need to answer. I'll pin it in the comments. Thank you.